Welcome to the Hustle Wing podcast. Today we are joined by David Craig, the President, CEO, and acting chairman of the board of Sarcomatrix. He's going to chat to us today about his company. We're going to get to know him a little bit and just have a good time. So thank you so much for joining us today, David. How are you doing?
I'm very well. How are you doing today, Lizzie?
I'm great. Thank you so much for asking. So tell me, what do you guys do at Sarcomatrix?
Well, here at Sarcomatrix, it's an emerging biotech company that's developing drugs that treat muscle diseases. In fact, Sarcomatrix, sarco is Greek for muscle, and
Mm-hmm.
matrix is the underlying fabric that supports muscle.
Okay.
Now,
Okay,
we're an
cool.
emerging biotech company, so we don't have a drug on the market. And what I'm doing right
Mm-hmm.
now is working hard to raise money so that we can accelerate the development of these drugs. And in a perfect world, we'd be on the market in about 2 years. But right now, the
Awesome.
focus is fundraising, uh, additional research and development, and then
Mm-hmm.
taking the drugs to what's called an investigational drug approval here in the
Okay.
United States, which allows us to do clinical trials.
Okay, awesome. So is there a specific disease that you're looking to treat, or is it sort of anything?
Now, good question. So ultimately, we can treat something called sarcopenia. And what this
Okay.
is as we age into our 70s and 80s, about
Mm-hmm.
half of us, regardless of how well we eat and how
Mm-hmm.
much we exercise, we're going to lose muscle mass. And muscle
Yeah.
mass is really important to maintain health.
Yeah.
Um, However, that's a very large indication. It takes a long time to develop that. So what we're doing is we're starting with a very severe form of muscle disease called muscular dystrophies. And
Mm-hmm.
basically, through a genetic defect, these individuals are unable to regenerate the muscles that they wear and tear every day. Like you and I, if we were to
Yeah.
go and work out, we would
Mm-hmm.
tear muscles, but we can repair our own muscles. So they have broken
Yeah.
muscle repair systems. And that's where our
Yeah.
focus at start would be.
Okay, awesome. So then, yeah, how did you come up with it? Like, why did you decide to do, muscle supplements? Is that what we call them?
Yeah.
What would you call them?
The medical term is muscle wasting diseases, and we are going to
Okay.
have oral drugs and injectable protein therapies to address that. So, I
Okay.
mean, the bottom line is I'm a pharmacist, picked up an MBA, and I've been really fortunate. I've worked at many startup biotech companies, 7 so far,
Yeah. Oh,
and
wow.
I've worked at them when they're very small.
Mm-hmm.
As an example, Amgen, I think, is the 7th largest biotech company in the United States. I was there when they were 100 people. Gilead,
Okay.
kind of the same thing. Most recently, I was at Portola Sciences, and they were bought by AstraZeneca.
Mm-hmm.
AstraZeneca wanted me to move to Maryland, and I'm fortunate to live at Lake Tahoe in Nevada, where I'd like to stay.
Yeah.
So I thought, why don't I look at the local university and see what they have available? And it turns out
Okay.
that they have some of the best, some world class muscular dystrophy labs are at the University of Nevada, Reno. So the
Wow.
drugs that I've licensed are from the Birkin lab
Uh-huh.
for congenital and Duchenne and Becker's muscular dystrophy. And it just so happens that I have a brother-in-law and a niece with congenital muscular dystrophy. So I figured for kind of the
Okay.
last chapter of my biotech career, I'd roll up my
Yeah.
sleeves, do some heavy lifting, help my family, and help a
Yeah.
bunch of patients that are in need of these drugs.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. So, yeah, so then you said ideally in 2 years you start the trials, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So then, yeah, I guess the next question would be like, what's the end goal? Do you want to sort of cure all muscular wasting diseases, or what's the vision here?
That's a great question. What I'd like to do is create a fully integrated specialty pharmaceutical company based in Reno, Nevada, that has a global
Hmm.
reach. We'll start with muscular dystrophies because it's a small number of patients and it's a good way to get your clinical and commercial team up and running. And then
Yeah.
as we grow into sarcopenia, and then there's another indication, cachexia, which is muscle wasting due to chronic diseases like COPD or NASH or
Okay.
chemotherapy. But those larger indications, I'll likely partner with a large pharmaceutical company that has
Okay.
established pharmaceuticals there just because it's probably a little too much for a small company to handle.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I'd like to have my own biotech company here in Reno and invite a bunch of people that are currently living in San Francisco over here to Reno to live, and join me in this little endeavor that I'm working on.
Okay, awesome. So then what's the game plan in the next 2 years before you start trials? What are the steps?
So right now, where we're at is all the basic research has been done in small animals based on NIH grants, National Institutes of Health
Mm-hmm.
grants, and we're currently stuck in what's called the Valley of Death because we need to do large animal studies and then some
Okay.
additional lab testing studies, PKPD, et cetera, to
Yeah.
advance these programs to IND approval. And that
Yeah.
costs anywhere from $4 to $5 million. So
Whoa.
to raise that $4 or $5 million, I'm leveraging a current solution, a crowdsourcing solution that
Yeah.
allows us to raise money from Reg A investors and non-Reg A investors to
Okay.
advance the programs. So I figured
Okay.
if we can get friends and family or
Mm-hmm.
patients that have these rare diseases to
Yeah.
kick in, $500 to $1,000 or whatever they can afford,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
could move these drugs forward and much more quickly. And actually,
Yeah.
these drugs may never make it to the market without a solution like this.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. Okay, cool. So you're focusing the next 2 years into crowdsourcing, crowdfunding, and then hopefully by then you'll be able to take it to clinical trials. Is it clinical trials?
Exactly. Yeah, raise 4 or 5 million. We'll
Uh-huh.
complete the large animal studies, and then we'll be
Okay.
looking at clinical trials in humans. And
Mm-hmm.
those clinical trials, the patients can participate in the trials to help others, or
Amazing.
they could wait till the drug's on the market and take the drug at that
Yeah.
point.
Okay. And just, out of curiosity, how long do clinical human trials normally take?
They can take, depending on the disease, they can take anywhere from 2 years,
Okay.
anywhere from 12 to 18 months to 4 or 5 years. Drug
Ooh.
development can be a long. Now,
Yeah.
that's the reason why we're focused on muscular dystrophy. They're very well defined clinical trials already, and the
Mm.
phase 1, 2 studies take 12 to 18 months, and the phase 3
Okay.
study takes 12 months. So in about two and
Okay.
a half years. Yep.
Okay, cool. So that's not too far. It's
No.
quite doable, I think. Like I've heard a lot of trials have been going on for years and years, like the male contraceptives and the, HIV ones and stuff. So
Exactly.
it's way better than that. Sounds way more promising.
It is.
Okay, cool. So then I think you kind of went over it, but what are some of the challenges that you guys are facing at Sarcomatrix at the moment, apart from the
Uh,
crowdfunding?
the biggest challenge is just raising money. And, I've
Yeah,
been out there presenting at national conferences, speaking with
yeah,
VC, speaking with angel investors. So I really
yeah,
like the crowdfunding solution. The challenge
yeah.
that I have is I don't have a lot of experience with the current, media, TikTok, Facebook,
Okay. Yeah,
Instagram, etc. And
yeah.
if any of your any of your team members
Hmm.
have an opportunity, maybe I could work with them to leverage those platforms to spread the good word about this crowdfunding and,
Yeah.
uh, and just spread the good word is what I'm looking for.
Amazing, amazing. So yeah, that kind of, answers the last question then, which is what sort of assistance would you like from our community? So are you looking for social media managers that would advertise the crowdfunding part leg of the company?
Exactly. I think someone that has experience with the platforms that
Mm-hmm.
can help me, do the videos that are relevant to the audiences
Yeah.
in a way that's going to connect with them. It's going to help
Yeah.
me a lot. I've got a lot of experience with LinkedIn, and I'm a little older than your average cat that's working with these new social solutions. So if
Yeah.
you I really like some help. I'm open to suggestions, and I
Hmm.
think you could really help me leverage those platforms to get the content out.
Okay, awesome. So then, great. We can definitely link you with, very competent social media managers that would be able to assist you with this, especially in the sort of niche leg. Like, I feel like, the type of social media content that you're going for isn't like the regular, like, TikTok dances and things like that. So, it would have to be like a strategized, campaign. But
Yeah.
I would, I wouldn't. It's not impossible, is what I'm trying to say, and we can definitely match you up with the right people for that. So, with the crowdfunding part, would you be interested in hearing from people that would be open to maybe, you know, assisting you in finding other platforms that you could try
Oh,
out with
sure.
for sort of capital venturists and people that would be able to link you with other investors and things like that?
Absolutely. If you happen to have connections with angel investors or VCs, I
Hmm.
think the VC angel environment is improving. It's been very challenging for the last couple of
Definitely.
years.
Yeah.
But like I said, Lizzie, I'm open for suggestions, support,
Yeah.
help, guidance, all of the above.
Yeah, amazing, amazing, great. Well, thank you so much, David, for your time. Thank you for sharing Psychomatrix with me and the community. I absolutely love what you do. I can't wait to see, what you guys can achieve, because honestly, you're going to save so many people and so many lives, especially in your own family, which I feel like is the nicest thing. I feel like, it's great that you get to help people as well, but it's really sort of sentimental when you see it in front of your eyes as well. So I really can't wait.
Well, thanks so much. I appreciate that feedback. And, we're not about making money as much as we are about trying to help people. That's the bottom
Definitely.
line.
Yeah, amazing. Well, thank you so much, David. I hope you have a great day, and I can't wait to connect with you again in future.
Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.